So today we're going to talk about the illusion of Black media ownership, right? That Black entertainment is not owned by Black people. And it's literally framed to look like we have more than we actually have to keep us confused and disorganized about really getting something. See, the BET Awards used to be the biggest night in the culture for Black people. Now, it's pretty much just like a laughing stock or, a passive event that goes by. And, shouts out to Larry Ellison and them, right? Because he pretty much owns all of the media right now. And, he's best friends with Elon Musk. He's best friends with Donald Trump. All of these guys really own the media because they're like evil geniuses trying to take over the world and create propaganda and stuff. And what better way than to use Black people, hip hop, and relevant culture stuff? So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about why, Black people always get framed in this like essence of, oh, Black business ownership stuff, but then still never own any of this stuff that it's positioned that way, right? Like, why do people lie about what they own, and why do businesses prop Black people up to look like they own stuff that they don't own, right? Then we're also going to talk about why the dysfunction in Black people's commentary is like literally the most profitable thing that most of these tech giants use, right? Even though the majority of people in America are non-Black people, somehow Black people still become so vital to the bottom line of these media companies and these tech giants, right? So we're gonna have an uncomfortable conversation about media ownership, assets, equity, you know what I'm saying, platforms, all of the stuff that's super important when it comes to creativity that most Black people are structurally kept out of on purpose, right? And unfortunately, some Black people are okay with that. So you remember when they were talking about all these Black billionaires were going to buy BT, and then all the Black people got excited about it, and we thought we were actually going to take back the culture because I believe Robert Johnson was the initial owner, and then he sold it to Viacom, and then since then it's been sold over and over to pretty much the largest bidder. And then Larry Ellison came and paid like over $100 billion or $100 million for the platform, and ever since then, you know, a lot of different discourse has changed. I would say mutated in the Black community, from diaspora wars to culture wars to class wars to gender wars, right? I mean, between the gender wars alone and, the recent developments of Young Miami's new song Spin That, and, the biggest story about it is her going against India Arie. And let me rephrase that. I don't want to say against. And this is the toxic nature of all of it. Is just even the way I'm talking about this. I'll take accountability. India Arie simply was just trying to create some thought-provoking ideas about where we are as a culture in America. And Young Miami song is like number one on the charts, right? And it turned into people throwing hate at India Arie. Like, how can you actually hate India Arie? I am not my hair, India Arie. If y'all don't know who that is, look it up. I'll put a screenshot up or something. And these are the reasons why watching YouTube videos are not enough, right? Like, a lot of what I write on my Substack have statistics and citations and stuff so that you can unpack. It's like unpacking a bag that unpacks into a bag that unpacks in a bag. So you start off on a video like this, and then you get to the Substack, and then I do a lot of free newsletters and stuff, and I talk about the nuances of developing topics and stuff like that. And then the next thing you know, by the time you get into the paid space, which is like literally only $8 a month, I start giving strategies on how to do your own stuff and also how to become a more literate critical thinker. So if you want to tap in, check the description. I'll even pin it in the comments for you so that you can get there even easier after you leave your comment on this video and like it and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Celebrity gossip is like the pinnacle of media platform success, right? Imagine buying something for $100 billion just to program bots to create discourse online that keeps people on a cortisol level that's too high, right? Cortisol is the chemical inside of your body that creates what we call stress, right? And I mean, people scroll their phones all day to be stressed or to get dopamine to relieve that stress, right? And tech people, media platform owning people, they love this stuff, right? And what better way than to get the most untherapied, you know, most impoverished people in America to just fight all day long on the platform, right? And even black people are discouraged seeing this content, not realizing that the people on social media, number one, are not all real. And number two, is a very small minority of how black people actually are. Anytime I have anything critical to say online, it's like a slew of white people in like fake uh, white profiles that are like bashing me, telling me to go back to my original country, get a job, fix my hair. And sometimes I'm in such disbelief that it's even real people, but then sometimes I go to the pages and this is real people being this hateful. And I'm like, man, we really walk around these people every day. And this is the stuff that these media platforms thrive on is in person, we all pay our phone bills, we all live secret lives in our phones though, right? So we go out in person and we all act like we're nice, kind, equality driven, equitable people. And then we go home and then we watch the most racist, dysfunctional, harmful media online in the secrecy of our homes and in our friend groups, right? I mean, that's why I started a Substack, to be honest, is because to cut off some of that noise and then like talk to people who actually have the same interests and have the same goals as me. So that's why like I always make the Substack free for you to join. And then if you want to be a part of the conversation, it's only $8 a month. But what is so captivating about celebrities, right? It's because when you live dysfunctional, disenfranchised, impoverished, right, suffering from mental health issues and stuff, celebrities are like the pie in the sky. They're aspirational. They live a luxurious life. They look amazing. They get to do it appears they get to do what they want to do, right? And that's why a lot of people are willing to literally abandon and insult their friends, sometimes even their own family, just to be in allegiance with a celebrity. I mean, as I'm talking right now, you can go online and search up Young Miami, spin that conversations, and you can see young ladies literally fighting with anybody who's not allowing them to just live a casual life listening to what they want to listen to. And trust me, I completely understand. I listen to some of the most trap music, Kodak Black, you can ever imagine. And I know how to consume it responsibly, but I also know how harmful it is to children. And also, some of the things he says in the music don't always uplift or keep other people safe. So what do we really want? Do we want a safe community, or do we want the individual ability to listen to and consume what we want? You could let me know in the comments, but I'll say for myself, I would give away hip hop right now, all 50 years of it, if our community was stable, safe, and healthy. And everybody can't say that. Some people would rather keep the entertainment. They'd rather keep the celebrity gossip because either A, it doesn't impact them and they don't have anybody that they care enough about who it impacts, or two, they're getting paid from it. And that's a lot of celebrities themselves. They know how harmful this stuff is. They see the data, they see the discourse, but at the end of the day, they choose their pockets and they choose their wallets. And most importantly, they choose the platforms. They choose the people who pay them. I mean, I'll be even honest with y'all. This series that I'm doing is new. I've been on YouTube for probably about 8 or 10 years, and I tried desperately to stay away from topics that were so relevant. And, I always believe in a higher power because when I look back at my old videos, I wasn't as articulate and I wasn't as concise. There was no AI and there wasn't nearly as many tools available to make your YouTube channel successful. So I'm actually in a good spot where I know how to use all the tools and they're actually available. But I'll be honest, talking about Young Miami and the NBA and Christianity and stuff was really not what I intended to do when I started this. I wanted to teach. But I realized how big there is a gap between the people who are actually on this platform to learn and then also the people who are just here to be entertained. So if nowhere else, right, definitely not Instagram or TikTok, YouTube was the closest that I could get to find you so that we could have a meaningful conversation and that I could give some kind of nuance and some depth to this, right? and perform at a high level, right? I do my research, I got my screenshots, and most importantly, I got my Substack where you can dive deeper, see a lot more of the reading material that brings all of this together so that you can actually learn something and take it away and have your own critical thinking, right? Like make up your own opinions. Talk to people about this stuff, share the videos and stuff, and if nothing else, subscribe so I can see you all later. You feel me? Bless up.